Hello, I think we might have sound now.
Yes, I hope we do.
Sound was working, and then I guess it wasn't working, so
Yeah,
restarted.
and it looks like it's working again. So hopefully we will have. Oh, Tina's here. We will have better luck. Yes, Bella. Bottle? Nope. So sorry about that. Bella woke back up before the show, so we have a baby who's a little bit cranky with us and wants to play. So, yes, girl. I've got to find her some toys. Um, sorry about that. I think we're up and running. Let's see who's in the room. We have um, your mom is in the room. Your mom was the first one here.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie, Linda Taylor, Tina's in here. Welcome, welcome. I think that's everybody who's chatting. Tina, how was the hollers?
Yes, we did see the hollers.
We did, and we'll talk about that. Hollers were fun. I mean, it was nice to see their new place and to just see them again and meet the new baby too. So the hollers were definitely fun, but we have a whole bunch of pictures because we have pictures from the whole month. Bella, your toy is still singing.
You started that. I can't believe you started that with a live show.
Well, yeah. I was trying to keep a girl happy. So, yes, we have a ton of pictures to go through on our trip. We did not get any videos done this month because it's been a little busy with projects and travel and a squirmy baby. You want to go back over there? You didn't want to go over there, did you? Bella, do you want to say hi? Look, there you are. You say hi? You say hi? No, not going to do it. Okay. She was doing that earlier. In fact, I posted a video of her doing that earlier. Hey, you want this? Okay. So, yeah, we have a bunch of pictures to go through, a big travel trip to go over. Lots of projects going on and end of harvest season and all that. Yeah, you see yourself. So first one is Bella. One of her first words is dog. So she loves her dog. So I had to catch a picture of her and her dog. But before we left on our trip, we also had to do a big harvest. So, you want to say what we pulled that day? It was a ton of stuff.
Yes, that was our third frost or freeze, and we were not going to tarp any further, and we were all getting ready to go. So we pulled all of the tomatoes that had any color that had blushed at all. Some tomatillos, some dried beans, a little bit of squash. It wasn't, I think that was
peppers.
A few peppers. Most peppers didn't really mature enough this season. We only had a 3-month growing season.
Yeah.
This year, which is really short. And so that's a whole bushel basket.
I think we had some ground cherries.
A few ground cherries.
A few ground cherries in there as well.
We had lots and lots of green tomatoes that ended up staying on the vine.
And freezing.
They were supposed to come off before we left. They didn't. They've been hard frozen a couple times, so they're going to stay there this year.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean we did get a lot of harvest in there. Kind of ran out of time at the end and with travels and all that, but we did get a lot of stuff out of there. Just before we left, we also had a mini party. In-home party with Bella because she had her first birthday before we left, and she loves these balloons, which we still have around here. So let's see here. You got to show this, which is local.
Yep, that's from one of our favorite pastry shops in town that I happen to be next to at the market many weeks, Victorian Bakery.
Yeah.
We think they do the best chocolate cake that we found in the wide area. Just really nice little raspberry soak in there, and then chocolate cake, chocolate ganache, chocolate buttercream. Pretty good.
It was very good cake. So, and of course, This one loves chocolate, so hi, you coming back up again?
Yeah, she got just a little bit, but she made a big mess with it.
Yeah, she did. And sorry, she is up and down here, so I am a little distracted as we go through this. She did try to help pack her suitcase, and before we left 2 days after her birthday. Her birthday was Saturday, right? Yeah, so we packed on Sunday and left for a big road trip
Monday morning.
On Monday morning. We had Bella and we had Puddin with us also on our road trip. So they both did pretty darn well. Found a dog friendly hotel, and Bella thought it was fun to play on. You coming back? Thought it was fun to play on the bed. The room wasn't exactly baby friendly, so we had to watch her, of course.
So we drove almost all the way to the Hollers. We were just outside of Asheville.
Yeah.
So we were deep into North Carolina. When we stopped so that we could catch the Hollers for the morning on Tuesday morning.
Yep. So, yes. So we went over and got to meet new baby, which Bella was very curious about their little one as well. But we got to hang out all day. We got to see their whole setup and the project that Ben had been working on that he just released in video last week, which had to do with the pig butchering, that big wooden pulley system that he had set up for I guess lifting the pig and putting it into scalding and back, which I saw the video for the first time today, but he released it a week ago.
Yep, so they've got a few pigs left, but they butchered, what, like 3?
No, they only did 1.
One?
They only did
did more than 1.
Well, over time they've done 3, but
Okay.
at that point they've only done 1, or 2 or 3.
Yeah, so they're down to a few guinea hogs that probably needed most of another year to finish off.
Yeah.
They're still young and small, but they've got a bunch of stuff for the winter, and yeah, we got to look around their property and see their start on a number of projects. Their trailer rebuild is mostly done. Of course, there's always finishing things to do, but it's pretty much done. And they just gotten propane, above ground permanent propane the day before we got there, so that was a nice improvement to have a big tank of propane instead of having to keep filling the portable ones. So yeah, so we hung out with them through the morning into the early afternoon. It was a really pretty nice day. So we got to walk around. They've got some nice friendly cows that are their neighbors that happen to be pasturing right on their back of their property line for the recently. So that was interesting.
Yep.
And, yeah.
And Puddin got to wander free on their property a little bit. And then we just hung out. It was just a lot of fun to see them. So it was just like a half a day visit, but it was cool. I mean, we haven't seen them. Hi, Noah's Ark. We haven't seen the Hollers since
a little over a year, March.
A year and a half ago, yeah. When we went to the Rhodes and they helped out at the Rhodes Butchery. So, and their family had just left when we got, like, we got there, I don't know, the next day or 2 after their family left. So, timing worked pretty well, but, hey, oh, we tired and fussy, sorry. Ah, yeah, and doesn't want to stay in my lap. Okay, next stop was to South Carolina, where we got to visit my sister and her family. So these are Bella's cousins, who she had never met because of COVID. Nobody's been doing traveling. So, what do you want, Bella? So yeah, so she got to go visit her cousin Charlie, who is 5 going on 16 and was doing a really good job kind of watching over Bella as she was going, and got to have a second cake.
Oh, that's right. We had cupcakes.
We had cupcakes at their house. Yep. So more chocolate for Bella. Oh my goodness. She's actually had another little bit. Just, what was that, last night? Last night.
We froze the cake. Yeah. Is pretty done, so it wasn't huge, but it goes a long way. So we just wrapped it up and froze it when we left because it freezes well and doesn't go stale. So we have the littlest bit of it left right now because I pulled it out just a couple days ago. Yeah. So we had a little bit more last night. And she does get on a nice sugar high after that. Can you move the screen so we can actually read what people are saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to go back and forth a little bit here. So another part of that trip to my sister's in Charleston. So we went to the beach. It was 80, almost 80 degrees when we went there. Yeah, it was about 80
degrees.
Yeah, so not
it was overcast, and we got just a drop of rain, so the beach was not so busy because the weather wasn't maybe perfect, but for us it was plenty warm and the water was plenty warm. There was no reason not to be at the beach.
Right.
So we just went for a late afternoon for, I don't know, we were there an hour or two at most.
Yeah, just hanging out, but Bella wasn't so fond of the ocean, but she definitely enjoyed the sand. She played and played and played in the sand. You went and took her cousin Charlie out into the jump waves.
Yeah.
So you guys had fun.
There were some nice rolling waves. They were, I don't know, foot or two, nothing huge, but they were breaking, and it's nice sloping beach. So there was actually, you get out quite a ways and not be very deep. It was just coming out of low tide. So
we also got to experience a little bit of the food from the area. So this was one of the restaurants we went to. Was that fried green tomatoes or something we're eating at? The appetizer, I forget what that.
Can't tell from that.
No, but that was the appetizer at the restaurant with Laura. So so Bella actually we went on a food tour as well, and Bella came with us. So we were all trying a bunch of stuff from South Carolina. I got shrimp and grits and got fried green tomatoes. And
well, I got the important she crab soup, which is not made in many parts of the country. That's really because Charleston is low country and has a very unique food scene and a vibrant food scene, blending somewhat of kind of like New Orleans, but not quite, And then of course the barbecue. It's quite a blend of different things. So, but I had she crab soup. We had some fried green tomatoes. Shrimp and grits. We had barbecue from two notable places. We had a taste at one place and had dinner brought in from another one. I had some local snapper and what else? We didn't have any oysters.
No.
I mean, we didn't really go out much because we were with her family.
And we're just there a couple days.
Yeah. Charles and things are kind of open. Well, they're fairly open in Charleston, but there was reduced seating, and of course, everybody's trying to be a little more careful.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying tourism is probably about a third of the level typical. So we went around a little bit, and then
Key Cat was just up here, so of course somebody just got excited. Then we went, and after Charleston, we went to visit your parents. So this is Bella and Grandpa. I don't know if I had any pictures of Grandma with Bella this time around, but we had a nice visit there and got to do. Bella had a couple other firsts here, so let me actually find it. We went on her first boat ride because the grandparents live on a lake, so we went out, which she was excited at the beginning, but she was actually getting pretty tired and about to fall asleep here. But she did pretty good for that boat ride, and then also had little event at their church. So
we had her baptism at church with my parents.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
They have a very small crowd because they're on limited numbers that have to sign up to have in-person church. But we went with them last Sunday.
They do a virtual church also,
Yep.
of course. But
she had a baptism while we were there.
Yep. So that was also a busy weekend. So each place was just a very short visit, really, but we were gone for a full week.
And 8 days. Yeah. We were a few days each place, pretty much.
Yeah.
We saw my brother and saw my sister and her new house and her dogs. And my brother came from the Atlanta area and spent an overnight and was around a little bit.
Yep. And then we had another, was it 13-hour drive home?
It's about 13 hours home, yep.
And Bella was pretty tired on that drive home.
Pudding was very tired. She slept the entire way.
Pudding was exhausted. Yeah. So it was actually easier drive back, even though it was like an hour or two longer than it was going down there, because neither Bella nor Puddin want to get back into the car on the last leg going down there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you gonna fall asleep or not? So, yeah. We also got back and, well, last weekend, didn't get too much done.
We didn't have a last weekend. We came back on Monday.
No, I guess I was here. Night. I was here Tuesday. And actually not at work, but we had first-year doctor's appointments. That's all. But so we had projects this weekend, but we had also our first snow.
We got a little bit of sleety stuff.
It didn't stick much.
It was frozen enough and white. You could probably call it snow.
Yeah. But it was coming down pretty hard at times.
Yeah, a couple of times it snowed.
Yeah.
We got a good dusting.
Yeah. So, today we needed to clean up the garden. Well, we put the birds in the garden to clean it up for us. So we had to move them. They would have been in the same spot for 2 weeks.
They like green tomatoes. There's a lot of green tomatoes in there.
They probably do. And we might have some volunteers grow next year. Who knows? They definitely liked the mustard greens that were sitting right down at the bottom of that picture there. And we're not going to, probably won't have those tomorrow. Let's see here. We had that. I started predator proofing the winter coop because we had predator issues this year when we put chicks in there. So started putting hardware cloth on the roof part because I think they were getting in from the roof. And you actually did a lot of leaf blowing today too. So Carrie said Monday it was 30 degrees and raining in Texas. It warmed up after a few days.
We heard that there was supposed to be a deep dip of cold weather across the middle of the country at the beginning of the week. So I guess you got that.
Yeah, no, and we're actually, I think, getting it tonight because...
Well, this is different.
Yeah, but we are getting down to 28, I think, tonight. But we're going to be almost 70 by next week.
We were 28 on Saturday when I went out to market. Saturday morning about 6:15. When I got up, it was 28. It was about 30 or so when I got to market at just after 6. So it was,
make sure she's not crawling out of the room. But it was definitely a cold weekend this weekend here.
We're going to run market outside all winter right now is what it sounds like because buildings are not available. And so there's a handful of us that pretty much run market every week, and there's people that want us to be there. So right now we are talking about being outside the entirety of the winter unless it's super, super icy or impossible to do business.
Yeah, that's going to be a cold market winter. All done? We're not done yet. But I do have one more picture. Well, you guys, if you have questions, cooking questions, you can think of those. But this was dinner the other night.
So
it's also local.
That's lamb or mutton. It's actually older lamb. It's mutton chops from our friend at Acorn Farm. He has some of the best lamb around and grows some great pasture lamb, chicken, eggs. etc. And so I just seared them, and those are cap on lamb chops. He has all the fat on them around the top. Don't eat all of it, but seared. He really wanted to have that there and see how nicely developed it was, and be able to cook with it on there. So those are just pan seared with salt and pepper, and I had some vegetable fried rice that we put underneath it. A bunch of vegetables and some rice, and most of that was kind of hanging around, so turned it into a vegetarian vegan dish. And then those chops are medium sized. They probably look a little bigger there than they angled than they really are. So we each got a couple chops, which is a nice small amount of meat. But those mutton chops are pretty special, and they are not strong. First, I got some ground mutton from him, and I'm like, I don't know. It's actually sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's mild, and it's a little bit sweet, and it's amazingly well flavored. It's really, really good. So there was no hesitation on mutton being strong or gamey or not, not very tasty.
So yeah, we had that. Tonight we had leftovers, but it was also chicken, our own chicken soup.
And chicken soup, sort of like Spanish style, with some peppers and a touch of tomato and some cilantro and scallions thrown in at the end. A lot of times I put a bunch of jalapenos in, but we didn't do that. And then put it over rice. We had a cook I used to work with who was from Guatemala. He used to call it Guatemalan chicken soup. So big chunks of onion, carrot, celery, red or green bell peppers, potatoes, whole big chunks of chicken with the bone in it, of course. And then you cook it down into a soup, but that scallion and cilantro really gives it a nice flavor if you want something different than the traditional American chicken soup. And so we reheated some of that. It's makes a good amount when you take a whole chicken and the vegetables. It's a big pot of it. So yeah, that's pretty tasty as the weather's colder and it's good and healthy. And Bella came back with a little bit of a cold. The beginning into the middle of the week, just a
I had it
light
too.
cold, and Cindy had it.
Yeah.
And we had COVID tests before we left and COVID tests after we came back, and everything's good. So we didn't pick it up anywhere along the way.
Just plain safe.
Just to make sure that that we're all going back into work and doing stuff without a problem, and so we seem good.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very hearty, but yeah, it's a great soup. It's easy to make, so if you're looking for something that's a little bit different, nice big chunks of vegetables, whatever you want in there, but finish it. Don't put the cilantro in early, because I found cilantro that cooks a lot can get a little funky. It doesn't always, but I like to maybe add a little at the beginning and then add most to it at the end. If you can marinate the chicken overnight in a little bit of cilantro and lemon juice and salt and pepper and oil and garlic and stuff, that's even better. There's a decent amount of fresh garlic. But if you think about all the healthy fresh vegetables, the chicken with the bones, the garlic, onion, all that, it's probably pretty much a superfood. So it's good. It's a nice something different. And then you take all that, even with the potatoes and stuff, you put a scoop of rice in the bottom of the bowl. Nice light rice pilaf, like some basmati or whatever you got, and it's a really nice meal.
Yeah. Any secret to smoking a turkey?
Yeah, brine it for about 3 days before you do it. That's probably the biggest secret. Just look up basic turkey brine. Doesn't need to have anything other than salt, maybe some sugar. Sugar can be replaced with brown sugar or honey or whatever you'd like. You can add some other dry spices. I don't really add much fresh. I keep it simple. Peppercorn, thyme, bay leaf.
It is Thanksgiving, so you guys, if you need any holiday ideas, we do have a series of videos from a couple years ago.
That's true.
Those holiday cooking videos. So if you're looking for other sides, other dishes, how to cook a goose, you can always do that. And
so back to smoking a turkey.
Yes, sorry.
So yeah, brine it for, I'd say, about 3 days. If you can pump it with a needle and put about 10% away to the brine, 5 to 10%, just pump it in at the bone and maybe into the breast a little bit to help it brine more completely and more evenly. If you're buying a commercial turkey, the chances that it's already brined is pretty high. It'll probably say 5% or 8% or something of water and spices added. If it says that it's already been brined, it can still be brined again. It'll be fine. But if you're doing a fresh turkey or your own turkey, that's where you probably want to brine it. That will help with it being more juicy and more tender. It will protect from overcooking. And then you need to rinse it. When you're done, you need to rinse it. And by the way, the brine started out hot. If you can get your spices and salt and sugar in like a quarter of the volume, heat it up, and then put the remainder of the liquid with ice if you happen to have enough source of ice or just cold water. That also, if you have a bunch of ice to make up the difference in volume, that's a good way to put it in like a 5-gallon bucket or a clean new trash can or something. And if you're lucky enough, you can leave it outside, like on a porch where it's protected from animals. If it's too warm, you obviously have to have enough room to refrigerate it. And then when you're done, you need to rinse it off to get the extra salt off of it. Pat it dry, and ideally if you can let it air dry and sit for a couple of hours, it will be a little bit sticky on the outside from the brine. That will actually, it's called a pellicle, and that will help attract and hold the smoke. If you start smoking and it's wet or it's too dried out, the smoke will not adhere very well and you won't get a good smoke. Other than that, I would hot smoke it at 275 to 300 degrees until you reach about 160 degrees deep in the breast. You can go up to 165. If you go much over that, it'll get tough, but that's a safe point. And yeah, it'll be great. Smoked turkey is amazing.
And no, we have not raised turkeys yet. We have a friend who raises them, and for mainly 4-H stuff, and she always complains about how expensive they are as far as how much they eat.
They eat a lot of feed. The 4-H kids lose money on them.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Because they don't command a particularly higher price than chickens, but they take a lot of feed. I had friends who were medium scale turkey farmer. They did a few hundred turkeys for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Everybody always complains they're so stupid. They're worse than chickens. They're to keep them alive and keep them from getting cold in the spring, keep them from getting in trouble or drowning or whatever.
Although I know some homesteaders who seem to love their turkeys.
Well, they are. They eat great, and they're even more flavorful when they forage.
We have a lot of wild ones.
You get a lot of meat off of them, but yeah, they have no personality. They're stupider than chickens. So a lot of people don't really appreciate them until you get to the end.
Yeah. But you can always hunt turkeys out back.
Yeah, we have a spring and fall turkey hunting.
Yep.
Probably turkey season right now, but I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention to that.
Neighbor got a small to medium-sized buck while we were going in back on the edge of their property. I think it ended up on our property. Somewhere before they got it down, but they got a nice catch on. So I think this was their daughter was, I don't know, 12, 13, something like that. Her first, she bow hunts. Her first
buck
or first deer. I'm not sure, one of the two.
Yes, you guys are watching Bella for us. Actually, I can see her on the screen up there. So I can see what you guys are seeing also. Although you guys can't see the toy she's playing with. But yes, background entertainment. She seems to have woken back up. But any other cooking questions? Any holiday Thanksgiving cooking questions you guys have? I have a question for you guys. What are your sides that you traditionally do for Thanksgiving? We, of course, have our stuff.
Or if you don't do turkey, what do you do in place of turkey?
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of people don't do turkey.
Yeah. We usually do turkey.
The question is, how many of you do lasagna or some type of pasta for Thanksgiving? Because around here, my pasta sales that's usually the last day of market, that Saturday before. Everybody's so frantic about buying their root vegetables and everything else, they don't buy a lot of pasta, and they don't really cook a lot of pasta. Of course, then you're bored and you're looking for cheap, easy meals after that, and a few days later, and then you wish you had your pasta. But when we were in New York, everybody did raviolis, baked pastas, Pasta alla vodka, lasagnas were really common with Thanksgiving. So it's, but there's a lot more Italian than here. There's not so many.
Yeah.
So that's a huge difference. Is how important is having a really home style pasta on a big holiday. I never grew up with it, although I found it's not a bad. I don't usually make it, but I find that it's not a bad thing. I worked at a club where we always had lasagna, ravioli on our Thanksgiving buffet, and people actually ate quite a bit of it. So.
Yeah, Carrie, I like turkey a lot too, but I actually like crispy skinned duck and goose better than turkey though. But I don't get that very often. So, or confit. Yeah.
Broccoli, cauliflower, and cheese. Yeah, that's a common Thanksgiving. That's good. Yep, we like that.
Yep.
I made a little cauliflower last night.
Mm-hmm.
Just quick roasted on high heat. No, no cheese on it.
Yep.
That time.
Linda, always do a batch of bread stuffing, 2 loaves worth. Yeah, we always have stuffing as well.
Pasta for Christmas. Yeah, it's big. Yep.
Let's make oyster dressing.
Oyster dressing is getting pricey these days, but yeah, that's really a lot of people do that at Christmas or New Year's also, but sometimes Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think one club one year we made oyster dressing, and I can't remember if it was for Thanksgiving or Christmas. I think it was Thanksgiving. Part of it is we had a lot of oysters left because we had been shucking oysters for cocktail for after events, and we had tons and tons of them all piled up where we'd scrape them out if they weren't all consumed on a raw bar, and we would freeze them. And so we had all these quart containers of oysters, so we thawed them all out, poached them, made sure all the shells were out, and we made oyster stuffing because we're like, what else are we going to do with them?
Right. Yeah, so string bean casserole was another one. That was actually a common one for my family growing up, with the Funyuns on top. But actually, Art and Bree posted something, I think today or yesterday, recently, and Bree was talking about how she loves string bean casserole from the garden with homemade fried onions on top.
Well, making homemade fried onions is really easy.
Yeah, they had a lot of onions in their harvest, it looked like, so that was nice. We got to get onions to grow better here, but I'm not a big fan, so it's not
my theory on onions is growing onions is fine. We do grow a lot of onions in Michigan, but they are a cheap commodity, and so if you take a lot of space or waste a lot of time trying to grow onions, what's it matter? You can always buy onions. And they're rarely going to last through the season. We don't have a great root cellar or something to hold them, so you're going to end up having to buy some onions anyways. So certain things like onions and potatoes are fine, and of course fresh dug potatoes are very nice, but I don't get too excited about like growing russets and stuff. I don't see any point. We'll just go buy them. It's so much cheaper than probably trying to perfect growing some of those staples. And that goes for carrots too. A fresh garden carrot is great, but having a whole lot of storage carrots, I'm not sure that's a priority for us. So yeah.
Somehow, I just want to check something here. You okay? Uh-oh. I heard a thump. It's funny. Our YouTube says there's 0 viewers, but people are still chatting, so I was a little confused by that one.
Stops sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway, have a huge spaghetti squash starting to turn yellow.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of squash this year. We did get a pumpkin that we'll have to do something with. We had 2 others forming halfway grown. Yeah, that's dog on the couch. But we did not. It froze out before we got those. So yes, dog's on the couch. Okay. First 5 got eaten by ants. Oh, the first 5 spaghetti squash got eaten by ants. Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay, they're saying there's 13 people in the room.
Yeah.
All right into the kitchen to eat. What's another one? You often do some Brussels sprouts with Thanksgiving
Brussels sprouts are nice. Yeah,
with
a
some
lot of
bacon.
times do yeah with bacon. We've done them with cranberries. A lot of times we put chestnuts or other nuts in
Hmm.
them. Sometimes with apples or shallots or pearl onions. Yeah, we typically. Um,
Bugs. Okay, gotcha.
yeah, we had an interesting. We used to do well. We used to do like 30-pound cases of Brussels sprouts at Thanksgiving at one place. I couldn't believe how many we went through. Just, I think we did 4 one year. I had to start having our crew cut and peel Brussels sprouts 1 case a day or 2 cases a day in advance so they wouldn't mutiny that if they had to do all 4 cases in one day. And these are not the little trays of cups. These are the big heavy bulk cases. But we went through that many Brussels sprouts.
Wow.
We did a pearl onion.
Tina's loofah just started flowering. Didn't you have some cold weather recently down there? I thought it got cold down there.
Hollers had a nice loofah that was almost finished.
Yeah.
It's the Hollers. Corn casserole, that's common. Oh, we had a good corn pudding. We had barbecue when we got into Charleston at Cindy's sister. They had gotten barbecue from Lewis Barbecue, which is one of the notable places. Everything they had from there was very good. We had brisket and pulled pork that was both were very tender, not overly smoky, nicely seasoned, very moist, absolutely no complaints. They were very, very well done. But they had corn pudding, which was also very good. And what else did we have? They had some pickled onions and cucumbers and such, pickles and onions. And then what was the other side did they have? Oh, macaroni and cheese, which was quite good. And it wasn't like outstanding, but was definitely well above average. So one of my biggest complaints, we have a big barbecue competition that comes through here, and all these national people that win all these trophies, and their pulled pork and their ribs and whatever are so-so. They're fine, but they're not great. And then all their sides are frozen and pre-mades and whatever. And I'm like, how can you call yourself a championship barbecue if you don't care about your sides and they're trash? So it was nice to see a top-rated local place that had really excellent sides, and so I really do think they were quite good.
Noah's Ark makes corn casserole.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Yep.
Like a cream corn casserole, or what do you put in? There's a lot of ways. We've done onions and peppers, like a kind of like a succotash without the beans, or like we've done.
What, you don't like lima beans?
No, I'm just saying what we did.
Yeah, I know, I'm teasing.
I don't love lima beans. I'd rather have a fava bean or a butter bean, but and then we would do corn casserole in like a custard. We'd set it up almost like a corn pudding.
Tina, we always get tomatillo volunteers. Definitely. Pecan trees. We have some.
I think those were the ones that.
Did all of them die?
No, it wasn't the pecans. It was the Asian pears that we got starts. They looked, it's hard to tell what they look like because they weren't flowering, but they never even came close to. They never got a start on them, so we lost those. The pecans, I think, I have to check on them. I think they're okay, at least some of them.
So we're on the very northern.
We have some southern, cold hardy adapted pecans that are about half to 3/4 size of the southern ones, but otherwise they're sweet and very nice. Yeah, you shouldn't have any problem. Tina should be absolutely fine growing pecans. Lots of pecans down in Charleston.
Still have eggplants flowering. Yeah, wow. Our eggplants never. We just had too short of a season again because we had a late frost in May and we had early frost in September, and we usually get another few weeks of growing season. So we did not get any eggplants. We put about 6 or 8 plants in the ground, and they grew. They just
you have to brine eggplants before cooking or salt them. Yeah, a lot of places you slice them in slices, and then you lightly sprinkle salt and you let them sit or press them for an hour or a little more, or a few hours, and then you rinse them off. That is nice. It helps them from turning color. It pulls out bitterness on the older style eggplants. It also removes moisture, so if you're frying them, You'll get a more dense, creamy texture, and the spreading will not fall off as easily. However, I don't think modern eggplants are very bitter anymore. So I don't think it's necessary, but given, and I don't do it a lot. I just made pickled eggplant a few weeks ago. I do for that. It's essential when you're pickling it. If you have time to do it for like a Parmesan or fried item, I think it's very useful, but I would not worry about it if you don't have time. It should come out all right.
Yeah, we don't have to take any leaves. Everybody's talked about stealing leaves. What do you do with oak tree leaves? I can tell you what we do with our oak tree leaves and our maple tree and locust trees.
Make them go away. We blow them away.
No, we blow them into beds and let them decompose, or we put them in the garden.
The neighbors burn them all.
The neighbors burn them all, but we make soil out of them. So
oak leaves take a long time to break down, but they're also very tannic.
Compost the leaves.
So they're, yeah. I heard on the radio this Friday, maybe, somewhere in a wealthy area, people were selling branches with colorful leaves on them, maybe about 4 or 5 feet long branches, and they were calling them flower or I don't know, fall branches, and I think they were selling for $15 at like a grocery store. Somebody goes, "Wow, that's entrepreneurship."
Go out,
like maples or I don't know what it was, but I wonder if they sprayed them to get them to set so they didn't fall apart right away. But $15 seemed a little steep for, don't know where. It was in a big city. It had to have been in a big city where they were doing it.
Yeah, I know people would pick up bags of leaves from people who are putting them out for a roadside pickup and compost.
Yeah, I definitely hear people that pick up their paper bags of them and just. Yeah.
We've so we've taken them and actually built a lot of the soil in our garden with them. Cherry says she has rocks, very little soil, always looking for stuff to compost. Yeah, that is a good one. We use also our chicken run material and use that for compost as well. And we now have a sitter who has a rabbit, so she gives us some of the rabbit bedding. She has a pet rabbit, so.
Yeah, putting the leaves in the coop, they'll eat a little bit, but they'll tear them up. It'll also attract bugs, which the chickens will like. So putting a decent amount of leaves in with the chickens is a good idea to help. Because leaves, if you leave them by themselves and you don't turn them a few times, will take like 2 seasons to break down, because leaf breakdown, especially in oak leaves, is a fungal breakdown. And of course the worms and other things eat a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot, but can be a 2-year deal because of the slower fungal breakdown versus grasses with hot compost. So the chickens definitely help it along, and that it helps take out some of the intensity of the chicken poop.
Bella's trying to steal large cooking books from your cooking bookshelf.
Fill the goat shelter with leaves and goats ate them.
Yeah, I bet.
We've got a lot of sassafras leaves. Well, they're all down now. They get very colorful.
Yeah, they do. But
I bet the goats would like them. Although I'm not sure if they can eat a lot of those with the saffrolls, and if it's healthy or unhealthy for them to have.
Well, there's people who eat them too.
In very small amounts.
Gumbophilic. Yeah. But
Gumbophile?
Oh,
gosh. Go to the grocery store and ask for the gumbo file.
Right.
Because they won't know what the gumbo filet. They won't know around here what it is.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Then stopping my raised goat and rabbit poop. Yeah. A lot of I know rabbit poop is you can use fresh. I don't know about goat.
Yeah, goat, I think you can too. Okay. Yeah, we're getting some rabbit droppings from one of our babysitters who has a pet rabbit. And I asked her, what do you do with them? I said, would you mind? I said, I'll get you some 5-gallon buckets. And she goes, I'll get some. So she has a couple 5-gallon buckets, and she changes the litter every day or two and keeps it really clean. And she just puts it in a 5-gallon bucket and zips it over here, and we dump it on our compost pile.
Yep. It could go straight in the garden, though.
She was just throwing it away, but I said, well, wait, would you bring it over here?
We'll use it. Turn it into soil.
Yeah, so we're getting that.
somebody is apparently planning on making us a meal because she's definitely interested in the cookbooks right now. But and singing. Hey, are you done? Wiping the eyes. So we have to do a giveaway. Unfortunately, the only thing I can think of to give away this month, because we didn't plan it much, is pasta.
Well, I'd say we should give away a bucket of compost, which seems appropriate. But
we could give away a bucket
she
of
would
compost.
say no, but now we just talked about compost.
That, I know, right?
We might be able to get you a bucket of rabbit poop and shaving. I'm afraid the shipping would probably be a little. And yeah. I still have the Nabi tea from last week sitting on my.
Oh, you haven't mailed it out yet?
I don't have it in a box. Oh. I don't have it ready. I have a busy life.
Yes, we all have a busy life. But so we will get the Nabi tea sent out.
It's purchased and available. It just needs to make it into a receptacle.
Yeah. So, since I hadn't even thought of giveaway other than the pasta until tonight. So, Tina will take the poop.
Really? Stone fruit branches have poisons? Because generally they're excellent for anything under the green. Anything that's under the size of your finger is typically great for composting.
Yeah.
And of course everybody smokes. I know there's some nice oils and stuff, but I didn't know they were toxic. They're definitely great for composting. Whether you can feed them to your animals.
Yeah. Oh. Well,
Tina will take the poop.
I don't know about the shipping on that one, though. The poop is free, but the shipping, I don't know. Yeah? What are you talking about? You want to talk to them, too? You want to talk to everybody, too? Yeah? Oh, you're not.
Pasta's better.
Pasta's yeah. I would agree on that one. So what we'll do is I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to open it up to everybody in the room. First person to answer correctly on our screen wins. And I guess whoever wins that will win pasta. If you don't eat wheat, we could try to figure out some other gift. If you want Nabi's tea or something else, we can figure something else out. Mm-hmm. But basically, my question to you guys. Can you, if we could keep the baby quieter, name 2 of the 3 groups of people we visited on our travels? 2 of the 3. Who did we visit on our travels? Just a baggie. Tina. That's too funny. So the branches are, the green leaves are fine. Okay.
Didn't know that.
Interesting. What are you doing back there, Bella? Oh, you found a ball. Okay.
Because the deer and stuff will eat the bark off of fruit trees later in the winter when they're kind of starving or running out of other stuff.
I love the autocorrect. Hollers and Mike's family. So, Tina, did you want poop or did you want pasta? My goodness.
We just finished some egg dumpling noodles and some long egg pappardelle. I have pumpkin pasta right now. I'm going to make one more half batch or batch of all flavors tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're pretty fully stocked. Well, some of our long pastas were out, but if you want pasta, you can look through the website and tell us what
you like.
what you want. Otherwise, I will send you 2 of whatever I feel like sending you.
So Tina won that one. She was pretty quick on the answer on that. Noah's Ark, we did not visit Art and Bree this time. It would have been lovely to see them, but we only spent a half day around it.
Cindy did have a post up, which Rebecca caught pretty quick.
I was like, I'm sorry, we didn't tell you we were coming.
Pretty much drove by. Yeah, we didn't. Yeah. I mean, they're very busy, and we didn't have a lot of time, so we didn't want to bother them. But we were roughly in the area. Okay.
Awesome. So, yes. Pasta, Chef's Choice. Let's see here. Just trying to see if there's. Oh, Linda, you could have played. I said open to everybody. Oh. Okay, but Tina was pretty quick. So
She had a fast connection tonight.
she did have a fast connection tonight. And she quickly caught her typo out that. She caught that too before anybody else answered. So but we'll get it next time. I've been opening up the giveaways to everybody in the room because there's just not as many people in the room since we're not doing it every week. So yeah, 13 people in the room. It's kind of hard to do a giveaway where you take away 30% of the room almost. But okay, Bella, you're pulling my box apart. How much mulch should I put on top of the garden that I'm planting?
Most things are planted either barely scratched into the soil and up to 2 inches into the soil. Very few things are planted below 2 inches.
Well, garlic will grow through a lot.
Yeah, garlic you can put probably about 2 inches, but it's a misnomer that you plant everything deep. The reality is almost nothing goes below 2 inches. Yeah. Unless it's on a tree, something that's
some
started.
Some bulbs.
But if you're talking about a seed.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting. You don't 2 to 3 inches at most of material on top because you're just going to slow down at warming up and starting and coming up. So, no need to overdo it. I put a bale of straw over our figs today.
Tina's on her phone.
Well, phones can be quite fast. The networks can actually they seem like sometimes they've got a faster feed than going through all the connections of a.
As long as your thumb typing is fast. But yeah. Okay, guys, it is actually wrapped up, gone through everything early, and it's 5 to 10. So unless there's any other last minute questions, food questions, or any other project questions you guys have, someone just about finished their bottle as well. So give it a moment to see if there's anything come through. Just watched. Okay. I watched a just turned 4-year-old at my church nursery a few weeks ago. She made me soup, hot dog bread, and hard-boiled eggs, strawberry, and a bunch of other plastic food. That's funny. Do you cook loofah? No.
No, loofah is not.
It's used for, it's a gourd, so it's only used for scrubbing. Because the inside, I've never actually grown and dried it, but that's, if you go buy one of those scrubby bathroom scrubbing things, that's basically a loofah. Tina, hubby is not home playing on the video game, so I'm swiping. Okay. Yeah. So everyone's different. Carrie's internet's slow on the phone.
Our internet's gotten a little better recently, slightly.
Yeah. No, actually this feed has been very fast the whole way through, so I think that's actually quite nice. But of course everybody's getting used to the time change also, and it would be pretty darn late at night right now normally from what we're used to. Yeah, it will be December when we meet again, you guys. So first Sunday in December we will do another get together. Wait, picket fence. We were just wrapping up.
So we'll, so we'll be through Thanksgiving.
Yes.
The weather will be colder. We'll
have another set of butcheries done. What are we planning this month? We have to do the.
We have another eight
birds
that were too small.
7 to 8. Yeah. We have one that's looking a little sick right now, and we've isolated. So one of our meat birds. There are
a few that were too small.
They're about 12 weeks now, I want to say, and they're just getting to size. And I'm
pretty busy next weekend, so probably won't be next weekend, which means we really have to do it the following.
Yes.
Because otherwise, they're going to be too big, and it's also going to be Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we only have a few weeks to Thanksgiving. We also have another cousin's birthday coming up in 2 weeks. So I don't know what those plans are yet. But yeah.
Oh, really? You can eat the small. I don't know. I've never grown them. I've never tried.
I actually have some seeds, but it wasn't in the plant, really in the room, in the space for us. We have our things we like to grow, and run out of space to play with some new things sometimes. Or run out of time, more likely.
I got a new truck yesterday. That's the other thing we didn't.
Oh no, I don't have a picture of your new truck yet.
It's a new old truck. Got a
new old truck.
Sold my old Dodge truck that needed some work on it. Somebody wanted to work on it.
Yeah.
And then I got a old Chevy truck. So I got a 97 Chevy pickup truck with a big snow plow on it. Bigger plow than I have. I'm still selling my other plow. Haven't sold that yet. People don't plan ahead. I put it up about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago to sell it. Nobody had very little interest. I guess as soon as the snow comes, people.
You'll probably get a bunch of hits now that we've had a few flakes.
Yeah, but the stupid thing is you can't just go take the plow and plow with it. You have to put a mount on your frame, and you got to hook up the electric, but you got to find the mount. So there's a gap. Even if you do it yourself, you can do it pretty fast, or you got to have a shop do it. So I figured somebody might have wanted it a month ago, but
Tina, oh my goodness, she said let her know when we want silky eggs. Oh, that is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, we ended up all the silkies are gone but one.
Okay, we had 6 silkies that we bought. 5 were roosters, 1 hen. We kept them together probably too long. Took out 4 of the 5 roosters, kept the hen and 1 rooster. The hen was tiny compared to the roosters, and I don't know if she got injured by them or what, but she was limping around for a while, and a predator ended up getting her.
Some type of bird probably came in. She disappeared.
Yeah. So so we're down to 1 silky rooster in Gus's flock. So I added 2 pullets that we had from the main flock in with them right now. So we don't need eggs right now. But maybe in the spring.
Yeah, so we still don't have that.
So maybe in like February or so. We also have to set up an incubator or borrow one. But yeah, we've had bad luck with silkies. I was kind of discouraged with this last year's worth of bad luck. So, but we'll see. We just need some, like 3 or 4 hens. That's all we need. They are great mamas. Hi, ASL. Yeah, we were just wrapping up to say goodnight. But I think that's basically it. I mean, other projects, we have to probably have our chickens moved into their winter runs by next time we see you. And
we got to cover the greenhouse. I moved about half the leaves today. Took a few hours, but we're gonna have. We've got maybe probably 60% of the leaves are down, 60 or 70%. But we got more leaves coming down. We got lots of oak leaves to come down. The neighbor has massive oak trees across the street. They will blow significantly across to our side. So we've got lots of leaves to move into beds and just clear a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. So lots of stuff to do, and holidays coming up, and birthdays, more birthdays in our family coming up. So, I can next day air for, okay.
Yeah, if you let me know, I have commercial shipping with my business that.
Yes, he does.
If we get ready to do that, if I know the box size and the weight, I can send you shipping labels, and I get pretty good discounts on a variety of shipping options.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll figure that out probably in February or March or something.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably do an incubator with them because probably won't wait for a girl to go broody because the main flock girls are a little bit harder on the chicks, and I've had them have accidents with them occasionally, so I'd rather not do that with the silkies. But yeah, we would love eggs in a couple months. But yes. Yeah, too cold for broody stuff down there. I had one girl jumping out every day to hide eggs, and I was wondering if she was going to go be a fall broody girl. We occasionally get a fall broody, but she hasn't yet. So
she's in two
fencing.
2 fences right now. I don't expect her to get out.
No, I don't think she will.
They're in the garden, and the garden's a 7-foot fence, so she might be able to climb up over. But
we've had some birds who fly over that fencing. So we'll see. But anyway, we should say goodnight because we have to get little one back to bed. and head that way ourselves. So we will see you in the beginning of December. And otherwise, I'll try to get some videos up for you this month or see how that goes. But if not, keep a look on our Instagram because we do keep our projects updated on Instagram at this point. It's a little easier. So we will see you next month. Thanks for joining us, you guys.
Good night.
Good night.